Howdy folks, it's Nito with AP 2020 Outdoors. This is a follow-up video to a video I did a few days ago on the Larson Davis LXT Soundtrack sound meter. You know, I posted that video on ar15.com, so I got a good education on sound meters. From my understanding, the Larson Davis LXT Soundtrack does not meet the mil spec standard for sound meters. Without getting in too much detail on the mil spec, let's just try to keep this discussion at a fairly high level. So I started doing some research on sound measurement techniques, and I found an article from Small Arms Review by Philip H. Dater. This was published, I think, back in 2015. I'm going to read a couple excerpts. Characteristics of impulse sounds. Sound impulses of a firearm are generated by the sudden explosive expansion of high-pressure gases at the moment a bullet leaves the muzzle of a firearm. The non-suppressed sound pressure level returns to normal atmospheric pressure within 100 or so microseconds of the projectile leaving the rifling. A microsecond is 1/millionth of a second. These are pretty short times. In the case of a suppressed weapon, the most intense sound pressure's peak, loudest component, is an even shorter, almost instantaneous pulse lasting at the most 20 to 25 microseconds. This is followed by several other pulses of far lower intensity for another 100 to 200 microseconds. If an instrument will not respond to pulse duration 20 microseconds or less, it will fail to record the loudest suppressed pulse and will provide grossly inaccurate suppressed sound levels. So with that being said, after I posted the video, I've got a lot of good responses by folks in the industry that are pretty learned, and they pretty much concluded that there's really only one sound meter that can actually meet the mil spec standard, and that is the B&K 2209. And I'll give you a little background on that. The original and traditional meter is a B&K model 2209 impulse precision sound pressure meter, manufactured by Brule and Kajar. I don't know if I got that pronounced correctly. Let's see. The 2209, however, is ideal for firearm sound measurements because it has a 20 microsecond rise time and a maximum input approaching 175 dB. B&K discontinued production of the 2209 in 1980, eventually replacing it with the 2231. Unfortunately, the 2231 suffers from two fatal flaws for firearm silencer measurements. It has a 50 microsecond rise time. In addition, it has 130 dB max input. So anyways, with all that being said, you know, I wanted to make this video as a follow-up because you know, my background is electrical engineering, and I have some knowledge of how circuits work. And I wanted to do this video also to maybe reach out to Larson Davis and see if they would, you know, somehow modify the circuitry in their LXT soundtracks to meet this 20 microsecond rise time spec. You know, there aren't that many sound meters out there. I mean, actually, there are probably none that are being manufactured now to this date in 2018. So anyways, I just want to do a quick follow-up video. I think I'll just leave the video with this. This is Nito with AP 2020 Outdoors. We'll see you all later. Remember, support our Second Amendment rights.